Well, the question was, what, that it looked like Enbridge might not go through, and people are looking more at train car travel for, freight transport of bitumen instead of pipelines. Let me go to the first premise of your question. I don't think we can for 1 minute, take our eye off fighting Enbridge. I don't think that we've won that one yet. I think Stephen Harper wanted to create the impression that he was backing off to help the provincial election of BC, and particularly to help the current Liberal government in BC, avoid the Enbridge project being the election issue. So by putting the deadline for the Joint Review Panel decision at December 2013, they get us right past the May 14th vote. And then the Joint Review Panel will report, and if it happens to be a miracle and the Joint Review Panel says this project can't go through, it's a cabinet decision whether it does or it doesn't go through. So I remain very, very concerned because of the nature of the commitment that I hear in the House of Commons to that project, and knowing Stephen Harper's commitment to it. And if we have the Canada-China Investment Treaty, if we don't approve it, they'll sue, right? So I don't yet celebrate the end of the Enbridge project. We're making huge progress. I mean, the fact that people think it can't go ahead, a number of prominent politicians have said, well, it's done, it's dead, it can't ever happen. I don't think that that's the right approach. I think we have to remain vigilant. Now, the thought of moving bitumen crude by train cars is certainly, it's got some appeal, because if we improve the track on freight to make freight safer, because right now our freight system is appalling. The CP is a company in Chicago now, and they are being lax on safety. They've laid off a ton of the staff that used to work on the trains, so you don't have people required to be in the caboose anymore. So freight safety has gone way down. Derailments on the rail cars in Canada has gone way up. It's empirical, it's demonstrable. We have a much less safe freight system. Suppose we had to improve our rails to improve transport of bitumen by train, it would improve transport of everything by train. But it can't end up with a destination on our coast, because then we're right up, as you say, against the tanker issue. Where would I want bitumen crude moving to? Refineries somewhere in Canada, instead of being shipped off to China. And I don't want much, I don't want the oil sands on the current trajectory for massive expansion. If they are at current levels of production, that's quite substantial and can stretch out over a very long period of time and move into the era when we're not using oil as a fuel source and burning it, but that petroleum product then becomes very valuable as the feedstuff for a petrochemical industry. We're going to be using those kinds of products a long time into the future. It's going to be worth more 20, 30, 40 years from now than it's worth now. And burning it is about the dumbest thing we could possibly do, particularly and urgently because of the climate crisis. So I hope I covered your key points. I think it was really funny. My life is funny in many ways, but one of the funnier moments was flipping pancakes at the Calgary Stampede next to Danielle Smith, the leader of Wild Rose. And she started saying, well, I don't know why we can't just move it in trains. Why don't we move it Prince Rupert? Prince Rupert's better than Kitimat. That's a lot. And I said, Danielle, we're not going to let you take it out of Prince Rupert either. There's a lot of opposition to that. Meanwhile, Danielle, do you know how to cook a pancake? Because she was serving, I don't want to tell tales out of school, but she was serving raw pancakes. Unsuspecting Calgarians. I don't think the woman ever knew to watch for the bubbles, but anyway. But no, we were having a side-by-each argument about where the bitumen would go and trains versus pipelines, and I could see, fortunately for that conversation, I got a sense that this was coming. The replacement for all the public opposition to Northern Gateway, put it in trains, put it to Prince Rupert, Bob's your uncle. And I was explaining to her. And that and the pancake problem.